Video 2 of 7 for my 7 questions in 7 days. This question makes me smile. The hardest person to come out to was my nan. My nan she's my great nan. She's fantastic. I don't communicate with her enough. We have always had this thing where if I'm in trouble, I'll write letters or I'll get letters. Now, getting a letter from my nan is a big deal. Also, writing letters to my nan is a big deal. I don't communicate with her as much as I should because I'm a bad grandson. There's no excuse for it. I don't. But I've always written letters when I need to tell her something that I can't say verbally. And coming out as transgender was one of the most terrifying letters I've ever written. Because I didn't know what she would say about it. I didn't know her reaction, but I couldn't verbally tell her. But I wrote a letter and sent it. And about a week later, a letter turned up on the doorstep. And she was absolutely amazing. She said to me, I don't understand fully what you go through, but I accept that this is something you have to do for you. It was the hardest letter I've ever written. But it was the hardest writing I've ever written. And anyone who knows me knows that I love writing. But the hardest person to come out to was my grandmother. And yet, now she's in her 90s. She was amazing. Absolutely amazing. I tell you what, if more people treated my transition like my grandmother, much better place. The world would be a better place. And it goes to show generation isn't an excuse for ignorance. It was the best letter I've ever received and or written, because my letter was a difficult one to write. Her letter was a pleasure to read. And generation is not an excuse for ignorance. But yeah, she was the hardest person I came out to, but one of the best. And it, like I said, it just goes to show generation is not an excuse for ignorance. Don't accept generation as an excuse for ignorance.